Story with Maria. How's it going? Welcome to our show. Tonight is Tuesday, December 7th, 2021. We are in the thick, the beginning part of the Christmas season. And I suspect as it winds up, we're going to be even more into it. We just are coming on the tail end of Hanukkah. So I believe 2 nights ago was the last night. And we have so many beautiful, wonderful Jewish friends that celebrated this week. We want to send our open-hearted love and light to them. Happy Festival of Lights. How beautiful that we get to enjoy this season together. We're coming off of a very difficult year. And it's just nice to see people celebrating. It's nice to see people lighting candles. It's nice to see people enjoying each other's company. And so we want to send an extended love and light to our Jewish friends. So we wanted to say that first off the bat. Hanukkah was early this year. I don't always understand exactly the calendar, but I know that they're usually close. Sometimes they overlap, and so many of my friends celebrate both through marriage and their children. And so December is just one of those wonderful months. I will say I wanted to apologize. Last week we did not have a show. I was gravely under the weather, and I am so glad to have come out of that. I had an upper respiratory infection that really knocked me for a loop. So I really want to put this out there. I know we've all been careful for over a year. I know more than a year. I know we're all doing great. I cannot stress enough. Please is no longer a joke and is no longer an option. Make sure that you are vaccinated. Make sure you are doubly vaccinated. And if you are eligible for your booster, which usually is 6 months after your last booster, do not hesitate. They have become available. They're free. Now is the time to do it. We are going into a cold winter. So do not play with fire. I was so grateful that I was vaccinated. I can't even tell you. I was so grateful. Also get your flu shot because the flu is here, and that, I might have had that. So we can't say enough about vaccinations. And this is no longer, it's not a political thing anymore. It has enough with the politics. This is about life and death. This is about taking care of each other. This is about making it through as survivors of a very strange time that we live in. So let's take care of each other, take care of yourself, and let's move ahead. And I'm personally looking forward to a wonderful Christmas season. New Year's Eve, we all want to move forward. The clubs that I work in are doing great. The restaurants are doing great. New York is mandatory now. So a lot of our friends from across the pond have been visiting this week, and we want to say welcome. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're spending money in New York City. We're glad you're seeing shows. So many amazing shows. I cannot wait. One of the shows that's doing very well, of course, is Company, which always does well. But there's a lot of great shows. But so many of my friends, I think almost everybody I know has seen Company, which I'm very much looking forward to seeing. But okay, Kenny Holcomb has joined us, and Kenny says, I got my flu shot. I'm so proud of you. I'm triple vaxxed. Everybody, please do it. Kenny is in Tennessee. So Kenny, thank God for people like you in Tennessee. Kate Greer says, I saw Company last weekend. Did you love it? Did you love it? One of my friends is in it, Nick Rodriguez, who is one of the employees at Brandy's. He's incredibly handsome and talented, and he is on Broadway in Company. Nick Rodriguez. Me too, triple vax. Yes, good. We have to be. So tonight's show. Okay, yeah. So if you have your program, Kate, Nick Rodriguez. It was fantastic. Yes, I look forward to seeing it. It's one of the shows that I really want to see. So tonight, we're going to bring on in about 7 minutes, we'll bring on our guests, and we're going to talk a lot about Sondheim tonight. So if anybody out there has a favorite Sondheim song or moments that you want to let us know about, tonight is a great night. We're talking Sondheim. We're talking theater. We're talking musicians. Carrie D'Amato, love the music from Company. Yes. And Patti Lupone. I mean, say what you will about Patti Lupone. She's really one of the greatest of all time. And the fact that we get to enjoy people that are legends now. And you can't say enough about it. So, yes, sir.
She was on Sunday morning, CBS Sunday morning.
Okay.
I think it was the program, and they showed an interview she had done with him that hadn't been released yet, that was about to come out, or I think it had just been. And Patti Lupone showed weakness. She broke down and she cried in
She
front
did?
of, yeah, and Sondheim was so adorable. He's like, okay, yeah, all right, you know.
Can you imagine? Wouldn't you have loved to be a fly on the wall to just watch them have a conversation?
Oh, remember his master classes? There was a back in the I think it was the 90s, the late 80s and 90s, when I was in college, and I remember, you know, a musical theater student, and we saw this master class that he was having with actors and telling them how to sing the song, and just it was written that way. And that's one of the great things about Sondheim, is that you really, I mean, your acting is there, but if you follow what he writes,
Well, to me, it's funny that you said that, because
there.
the songs are like maps.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really like, especially stuff from Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh, yeah.
It's a complete map. You know, you can't, not that you can't divert, in a sense, the feeling you have, but you really have to follow it like a map.
And his song, putting it together, just about production and
It's in my
art
head
and
right
making
now.
that. Yeah,
It's in
you
my head.
know, just incredible. I love that. You and I have put on shows. We understand that whole process, whether
Right.
it's art. I mean, it's all art, depending on the medium.
Yeah, and of course, and there are artists that, like, I think Barbara Streisand, what she did with so many of his pieces, elevated it to
Oh,
another
yeah.
level, because all those orchestrations and just amazing. She is the master of using orchestration to lift up. I just actually, Judy and I watched her concert. We had been to her concert a few years ago in Philadelphia, and they were showing it on Netflix again, and it was just amazing. Kate Greer says, "Into the Woods is my favorite. I played the baker's wife." Kate, I could totally see that.
She was
You
in the
are the
wrong
baker's wife.
story.
You are the baker's wife. Kate is an amazing singer, and I love Into the Woods so
Oh,
much. I love all the witches' numbers,
you should
and
see my
I love
nectarines.
the agony, all that stuff.
Oh,
It's
love
just
that.
genius. It's genius.
And I'm sure that Keith and Barbara will hopefully agree with me, but "Children Will Listen" is one of the most important songs I think that any parent really should listen to ever in their lifetime,
Yeah.
because it's just so poignant and truthful.
You've changed, and okay, hold on a second.
You've
Hold
changed,
on. In
you're
the woods.
daring, you're different in the woods.
Right. I mean, everything is so layered with Sondheim. Everything is so layered. And there's just so much that you can keep peeling and peeling and peeling. And depending on where you are in your life, what that song means to you. My number one all-time musical of all my life is still West Side Story. It's I can't help it. I can't help it. It's still my number one. So, and I'm looking forward to that's opening December 10th in the movies. Yeah. So let me see. Okay.
And my mom's in it. Well, legendary.
Yeah. Legendary. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Rita Moreno was in there.
Rita Moreno they created a role for her Doc's wife.
Right.
And I am very much looking forward to that. Okay. So let's hold off on the Sondheim talk, because we're going to bring on Keith and his beautiful wife very soon. But we have a lot to talk about tonight. Okay. Christmas is coming. So Hanukkah is here. If you want merchandise for your loved one or friend, you have to order it ASAP so that I can get it to the post office and get it to you, because all that shipping stuff is taking longer than usual. Oh, Rena's here. Rena Crignali Bergi, my cousin from Massachusetts, and our
Hi, weather
sweet
girl.
friend Laura Chester says, I love Into the Woods. So many lessons there. So many lessons there, Laura. You're absolutely right. Yay, Keith and Barbara, my friends. Laura, welcome to our show, sweetheart. We are so, I love Keith. And I just got to know Barbara recently, but Keith, I've known a long time. And so I'm thrilled that you are here. Ed Kutu from Blade Salon in Rocky Hill, Connecticut. Eddie,
Hi, Ed.
look at the way,
Hi, Ed.
do you know why Leo's looking like that? So he's fanning himself because
here we
everybody, not only do we have our regular merchandise, which of course our tote bag is 10. This is a great tote bag. You can wash it a million times. That's okay, Leo. I got it.
Here I am.
There's our tote bag. So these are available. Let me know if you need them. Also,
and you do need them because their recycling is.
Yep. Our mugs, $10 also for our mugs. Go ahead, keep eating on the other side of that. And our piece de resistance, we've always said, is a blue apron, which is $25. These fly off the shelves. But now, this
should we see how it actually fits?
Oh, Leo, look at you. Leo is sporting the nothing but the apron. Okay.
That's right. It fits everyone. One size fits all.
One size fits all. So this leads us to our next project. Hey, Gene Simpson Dunn from Danville, Illinois is here, our friend. We love Gene. Yes, Leo. Kate Greer says, woo, racy, Leo.
Right?
You have no idea. First of all, I have to, yes, Leo's a hottie. I have to put this out there. Leo worked tirelessly on this next project. We have created an apron a calendar for 2022 called Nothing But the Apron. And it all started when Michael Vaccaro bought an apron and took him a picture of himself with nothing but the apron and posted it to our Instagram. And then Wiltie and Hall followed and said, oh, yeah. And he took, and all of a sudden, and then I was in Massachusetts and my friend Thomas and Andrew said, you should make a calendar. And I said, do you think anyone would pose? And yeah, we have 12 delicious posers. And Leo, I have to buy you an extra Christmas present this year because Leo worked tirelessly combing through all our photographs
in detail,
blowing them up, making sure that everything was perfect. So we have 11 males and 1 female. And our female is Miss October. She is Judy Mesa, my girlfriend.
Hottie McToddy.
So, and everybody contributed what they thought was their best foot forward, their best apron forward. And I think it's going to be under $20 for the apron.
Yeah, for sure.
For the calendar, but it's going to be well worth it. There is a hottie for every month with some of them have themes. So if you would like, please reach out to me. You can either text me, reach out to us on What's the Story with Maria at
gmail.com.
Or, if you have my number, just reach out and we will get it out to you. They will arrive in New York City, December 17th. Leo ordered them yesterday. And Leo, I wanted to thank you for your hard work tirelessly.
Oh, I suffered for it, but Ed, I will never drink coffee the same again.
Ed, yes, Gene, Ed Kutu
did
pose in his Nothing But the Apron. And it's adorable.
I really think this is going to be a yearly tradition.
Yeah,
well, I have a feeling
we have people on board for next year that didn't make it in this year because people were running late. A lot of people couldn't find their aprons. Mandar is going to be in next year's calendar, as is Hedman Soto. And we have to have Mandar is going to be flanked with girls, and he was like, I have to get my apron and then get the girls. So next year, I know, but he's right. So that might be a whole group apron thing.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So clapping. Rena is clapping. Oh, speaking of Rena, she's clapping for Leo. Rena's husband, Ron Berge, our famous mailman, is Mr. February.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, Mr. Postman.
That's right. That's all I'm going to say. Mr. February.
Because he gets the delivery done.
That's right. We have some real cuties. Michael Vaccaro, Will T.N. Hall, Jay Rivera,
Chris DiPiero,
Mario Davila, a manager at Brandy's.
Texas, you don't know what you got there.
Right? And then Andrew Hankinson,
the Hunky Husbands.
The Hunky Husbands from Massachusetts.
And of course, the person who loves nudity the most, Dominic Pupa.
Dominic Pupa. Oh my God. Peter Feliciano.
My birthday twin. You got twins in there. That's right.
Michael. We got a lot of really cuties. So, okay.
All right.
So enough about the apron, but we're very excited. Very excited. So let us know if you need an apron. We are going. I'm not an apron. I'm sorry. Anything you need, let us know. We have aprons. We have mugs. We have bags. We have calendars.
Yes, Gene Simpson done.
What does she say? I'm posing for that. You know what, Gene? I would love that.
I'm a fluffy male. I appreciate other fluffy people.
Yes,
posing as well.
Well, that's what this whole thing is about. Everybody looks good in the blue apron.
Oh, yeah.
It's enjoying wearing it. Okay. Now we're going to go into a more serious subject. We're bringing on two wonderful friends of ours. They happen to be my neighbors, by the way. They live in the Heights as I do, probably about 7 blocks down. I have delivered marinara sauce to that house. And I got to say, why don't we just bring them on? Are they ready? Are they waiting? Oh. Hi! It's the Torgans. Hi, girls and boys. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Keith Torgan and Barbara Cecil. Is that correct? Did I say correct?
Yes, perfect.
I wanted to get it right, Barbara. I had to get it right.
I am so impressed. I really am.
You know, I hate that when people get names right. My name, that people get it wrong all the time. And you know what? It's okay. I'll answer to any of it, but it's nice when they get it right. I love when someone says
it's always wrong. It's always pronounced wrong. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Fantastic.
I can't thank you both enough for coming on. I'm so happy that you're here. And I want to thank you for bringing so much beautiful music to the world, because I know that you both do. I've known Keith a lot longer than you, Barbara. We just recently met, maybe in the last year or so, through Keith. But I had the pleasure of actually, I was in one of Keith's show many years ago in a children's theater company that Keith started, the Dragon Show. Remember, Keith?
I remember.
Yep. And
I remember seeing you, and I thought, oh, look, they cast somebody who looks almost just like me, but it's a female.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was so honored when I finally got to meet you, because I realized, I mean, I knew you were the writer of the show and I was playing your character. But when I got to meet you, I thought, he's adorable. I got to play him. So thank you for that.
I actually saw you in the show.
You did?
I did.
So you two have been together. How long have you been married now?
Well, it'll be 17 in June.
Wow.
So 16 and a half. Yeah.
And did you meet working together? I mean, you're both musicians, so you didn't?
No, we met online.
Oh, even that's sexy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
But you're both in the same you're in the same business of children's theater, is that correct?
No.
Well,
yes,
now.
Now, but you weren't then.
Tell her about you.
Well, so I'll just say that I'm a classical flutist and have had, and I'll be able to talk to you about Sondheim, because I did Into the Woods on Broadway.
Really? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo!
So, but classical flutist. When we met, I was a flute professor up in Maine at Colby College. Wow. And I was like a new music person, like real new music, new technology, really far out on the skinny limbs of avant-gardeness. And when we met,
I was totally intimidated.
Is that true? I can't even imagine you being intimidated.
Well,
Well, that's because
No,
you
no,
had
but
a crush on her. You had a musical crush on her.
I
actually, I had this manager who knew his music, and she said, "Oh, Keith Torgan." I hadn't met him yet. His music is really great, so I knew, it would be great. I
But you were
knew.
it was love at
intimidated.
first sight, though.
It was love at first note. Maybe it was first note.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
You know, the
much.
notes go
Yeah,
straight to the heart.
Yeah.
that's
So
true. He
now, do you play together at all?
Oh yeah. Yeah. When we met, I mean, I had been writing children's music for a really long time, and Barbara wanted to create something that would get kids excited about classical music. And
Wow.
that is why we wrote a piece for kids, introducing them to classical music.
right.
I
That
mean,
was yeah.
I didn't really care. I just like to make them laugh and have a good time. But
Yeah,
Barbara's
you're
very
very
serious.
animated. I would put you in the very animated category. You really come to life. Yeah, but I love that. You're like a human cartoon, you know?
Very
And
true.
they have
Very true.
so much
Yeah.
No, I
fun.
mean, and I wanted to get out of the ivory tower for a while. I really wanted to get very grassroots. So, we started creating all these different pieces together and it enabled me to not just be standing on the stage, playing a concert or, it enabled me to expand my kind of way of being a musician with a lot of other disciplines, with acting, with movement, with
Mm.
sometimes he makes me sing. Uh
Isn't he
yeah.
just awful that way? Isn't he a slave driver that way?
Oh, he
He makes you
is.
You
sing.
have no
Yes.
idea. I'm horrible.
He's
I'm
terrible.
horrible.
Well, you're very disciplined and you really are someone that takes something from A to B. And I mean, Keith, that's how I see you. You're not just someone that kind of phones it in. You're
Oh,
very
thank
much about
you.
the whole project. And, if you have to write certain things, you have to be that way.
Yeah.
So now I do want to slip into Sondheim slowly because
Hmm.
last week you were the first person that reached out where I was just going about my business and I wasn't feeling very well last week. So I was a little bit out of it. And I got a pop-up notice from you. And you told me that Sondheim had passed away. And it was the first that I'd heard. And I felt,
Mm.
well, I was, I've jolted, of course, but I felt your sadness. I felt another musician's sadness. And what I felt in that was this human that had been inspired by this man and had been that what I saw, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but you to me were someone whose eyes probably as a younger person had been opened to this beautiful world of theater by this composer. And I felt that, you know. So I just thought that tonight was very important because I haven't talked about it at all. Even I haven't even posted
Mhm.
anything at all because I
Mm.
was processing it. And so many other people were writing beautiful things that I wanted to take it in, you know. But so tell me a little bit about you. And then Barbara, I really am dying to hear about the Into the Woods experience. But Keith, tell me about your connection to Sondheim as a writer or
Well,
even as a child.
as a child, I mean, one of the first movies I think I ever saw was West Side Story. I actually saw it in 1961 in a movie theater, and I was smitten. I mean, I
Yep,
get choked up just thinking about it, and I'm
my
so
favorite.
excited. My favorite too. I was a little concerned that somebody else was making another West Side Story movie, but it looks amazing. I
You
mean,
really do. And they filmed it
I,
in our neighborhood.
they
I
did. We
know.
actually
We
walked over
saw
and
that.
watched them
Yes, we
filming.
watched. We
Yeah.
watched.
I mean, they
I
kicked
can't
us
wait to
out,
see it.
but yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing West Side Story and being beyond mesmerized as a kid. It's still my favorite of all the it's my number one favorite music of all time.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
me too. Me
you,
too.
you know, when I was a kid, I played the record over and over and over again. I used to stand in the living room and act out the death scene. I would stand, I would I did. I would like stand on an ottoman and then I'd like fall onto the floor, and I'm like, "There's a place for us."
But isn't that wonderful? How wonderful that we had those musicals and we had those experiences. We did the same thing. We used to do the Jets, and I mean the Jets and the Sharks. We used to on the street. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for
what
sure.
we
We
did.
used to do that. I was in Queens, and we used to sing. I can remember singing the song. And then when I was in the 6th grade, we wrote a play for the World Health Organization at the UN. It was like this competition, you know?
It's a big
And
deal.
I wrote a song based on I Feel Pretty. And I changed the
Really?
lyrics. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it called?
I'll get better.
I
With the World
love
Health
it.
Organization, you know. I'll get better. I'll get better. I'll be able to jump and I'll play. I was in 6th grade, you know.
That's fantastic. That's
So
fantastic.
I
But
was
you see,
channeling Sondheim, you
You
know,
were,
in 6th grade.
clearly.
Yeah.
so
We
when did you
won.
start?
We won, by the way,
Oh, you won the competition.
for the whole New York City.
I love that. That's fantastic. And when did you start playing the flute, Barbara?
When I was 8.
Wow.
8.
And was it
6,
something
6.
that you just got at school, or did you get to choose the instrument, or did someone assign it
No,
to you?
no, what happened is my parents, when I was 6, my father brought a recorder home. And my parents, as you know, cultured people, it was kind of like, let's see if she's musical. And so they came in with a recorder, and also because the guy up the block gave lessons.
Oh,
So that
okay.
kind of narrowed it down, right? So I got recorder lessons, and then after 2 years, he said, you know, I think she should switch to the flute.
And you
And
know
so
what? Lucky for you and your parents, a flute is easy to carry.
yes, that's true. That's because I was like a little teeny person. So it's
I
good.
I
And
I
now
and
you're
I
a
see.
giant.
Now I'm
Well,
giant.
listen, it could have been a tuba. It could have been a tuba,
It could have, but
but you went with
it
the
wasn't.
flute. So, I
I
mean,
went
I
with the
see some of
flute.
these kids and the instruments that they end up choosing, and then that's it. They're stuck. They're stuck for
Yes.
life. You know, like some of these upright basses, or these little guys with cellos that they're carrying. So it's a
Yeah,
lot easier.
when I was a kid, I would watch this girl I would look out the window of our house, and I could see this girl every day dragging her cello to school.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
remember it well, especially these little girls that were like what the upright basses, that always
Yes.
blew my mind, the upright basses. N-
You,
Now,
you, you know, I want to say something about Sondheim, about back to the.
anything you want, honey, anything you want.
Well, I was surprised how devastated I felt. I mean, every time I saw an article, every time I thought of his name, all his songs were going through my head. I would just start sobbing. I'm getting all verklempt right now just thinking about it. Um, and it's not even, it's not even like I felt an extreme influence in terms of the way I write my music, because I
Mhm.
really don't. But he's been present in my life, most of my life. From West Side Story, I saw Company when I was a junior in high school. We went into class trip and saw the original production of Company on Broadway. So from beginning to end, he's been there, and he's a god. I mean, and
He is a god.
one of the things I think, aside from the music, is that when somebody who you admire and are smitten with in that way, in that artful giant way, passes, it really it resonates, this idea that we're all mortal.
Right.
I have this weird idea that if somebody is really that, somehow they're going to live forever,
Forever, yeah.
and then they die, and it's really horrible.
It makes it so real. And you know what I think it is too? Like, you're both New York kids, right? You both grew up in New York. And I mean, I grew up in Massachusetts. I've lived here 30 years. But when I think the difference between New York kids is that you actually run among geniuses, like day to day. You're on the same subways, you're in the same highways, you're at the same store. You're walking in the same spaces as all these geniuses and people that are happening. That doesn't happen in 49 other states. So, I mean, maybe California, you know,
California.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
but
knew
right.
Leo was
Oh,
going to
there's
come
Leo.
on for
Leo's
that.
from California.
Leo, I was
She
waiting.
cued me on. She was
And
little,
where did you go? Where's Leo?
I
oh,
know. Well, I always love it when Leo comes on, but I think that that has a lot to do with it. Like that, you, as children, you walk amongst this and you're coexisting. And so then, especially as musicians or as actors or whatever, and Leo, jump in because I know I can see your eyes. I know something's happening there. That you're part of the fabric of all of this. There's a wave that's happening, and it's like you're in the ocean. You're in the creative ocean of
Kind
this.
of feel like, you know, it's just it's normal. And like I had a lot of classmates who are superstars now, but you know, I just kind of see them as regular people.
Right, of course, because they're your
Um,
friends.
they're right, right. And I mean, I think that happens in any field. I'm not, you know, singling myself out in any way, but um, so yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like when someone like a Sondheim, you know, their road comes to an end in that way on Earth, of course, not, you know, then we feel mortal all of a sudden, you know. But and I can't, yeah, the over and over I keep hearing there are giants in the sky. There are giants.
Mm.
You know, it's like I keep hearing that
Mm.
dun 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 dun, dun. And I get emotional. But I got to tell you, my very favorite. Did you, Leo? Did you want to say something, honey? Because
it'll lead us down another road, but it's just he's, as much as we think of him just New York and just theater, he was iconic in aspect of the songs from West Side Story to Follies to I'm Still Here. They're in our diatribe, they're in our language, they're in our
yes,
lingo. How many people have sang these songs over the years? And I wonder, you know, when Lucy died, Lucille Ball, God rest her soul,
Mm.
I cried. I was 20 something.
Mm,
And I feel the same way when it's not just that he was a great musician, but he noted our emotions and our history and our lives through theater with his music, but he even did film. I mean, Madonna sang with him, you know, she did Dick
Dick
Tracy with
Tracy.
him, and he got
right, I
he got his
forgot about
autograph.
that.
So he is in our American icon, you know, and if you're a theater person, you know, then of course you live even more so. I mean, how many
Right,
of us sang Being Alive for an audition that it was
right.
Well,
that we
it's
were
a
told
little
no
bit.
more singing Being Alive?
Really?
It's a little bit like also the end of an era when you think about, you know, like Leonard Bernstein, he left us, you know, in 1990,
Yep.
and right, and he was 70 years old. It was, you know, that was a long time ago, but the people that were connected to that kind of great American musicals, you know, things have really shifted a lot
Yeah.
now in what musicals sound like. And
Mhm.
I won't make a value judgment, but you know, to me, he was the last of a certain
I
kind
mean,
of
Hammerstein really
musical
passed
theater.
on that baton to them because I feel, and I mean, I loved Rodgers and Hammerstein. I mean, I grew
Mm.
up. My first role was Jerome in South Pacific as the little boy Dites-moi. I love that history, and my degree was in musical theater. You know, that was my focus of. But Hammerstein in tutoring Sondheim, just kind of passing the baton, because in that next decade over, we had musicals here and there, but it was Sondheim.
Right. Okay. So you see what you're saying, that this is all connected. So what I love about all this is that Hammerstein was connected, Bernstein connected. They were all connected. They were a lineage of great American
That's right.
composers that
That's right.
helped, and they helped because I was just recently reading that, you know, Sondheim didn't just appear out of nowhere. He was helped. He
Oh,
was
yeah.
guided. He was mentored. He was lifted up by others that weren't that were selfless and wanted to bring a new light, a new voice in. And I think that doesn't happen as much as it used to happen back then.
It's too hard to do a new musical. It's too expensive. They need 25 producers, and so
Right.
people are just so protective. And it's plus there's a kind of fear of going out on the skinny limbs. I think there's really a fear because it's so much money again
Right.
that of taking a risk and not pandering to. Sometimes I think it's to the lowest common denominator. I mean, it just really, when you
Art
think about
isn't easy,
Sondheim, and,
even when
and
you're hot.
like I played Miss Saigon also and Evita. I did other Broadway people, but nobody was as interesting and as challenging as Sondheim because it's like really, really complex music.
Yeah.
And he studied with Milton Babbitt, you know, who is like the most far out of the 20th century composers. He taught at Princeton. It was like a whole thing. But Sondheim studied with him.
I remember
And
when Passions came out, Sondheim, every song for her was a half step higher until the finale, like that. Just to back up what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is hard. And so it's complex and it's hard. And you actually are challenged because when you do 150 shows in a row, like
Right.
maybe you want to be challenged because you're not on stage. You're not getting all that great you're on stage stuff. You're in the pit.
Right. Now, I
Um,
just take a moment. Our friend Rona said, and even though she is not a musician or performer, I feel like the music and the theater is in my blood. And people are moved. So it's not just musicians. It's not just performers. So that's and so people are influenced every day by what they hear and what others write. I gotta just quickly. I want my very favorite because everybody's got their favorite, right? My very favorite Sondheim is I Remember Sky.
Beautiful
To
song.
me, yes. But also, I mean, I love the melody of it, but the lyric, it just, I remember, if you've never heard it, so I'm just going to very quickly read it. This is just, you could just run a whole class on this one poem
Oh, okay.
from Evening Primrose, which is, I mean, it's a very strange concept. It's about these mannequins, basically. They're trapped in a store but to me, it's about mental illness, and it's about isolation, and it's about disconnection. So it doesn't have to be literal, but I remember sky, it was blue as ink, or at least I think I remember sky. I remember snow, soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like lint, and it made you squint when the wind would blow, and ice like vinyl on the streets, cold as silver, white as sheets, rain like strings and changing things like leaves. I remember leaves, green as spearmint, crisp as paper. I remember trees, bare as coat racks, spread like broken umbrellas, and parks and bridges, ponds and zoos, ruddy faces, muddy shoes, light and noise, bees and boys and days. I remember days, or at least I try. But as time goes by, there's sort of haze, and the bluest ink isn't really sky. And at times I think I would gladly die for a day of sky.
Oh God.
oh,
It,
God.
I have goosebumps. And if that isn't one of the most beautiful poems ever written, forget even the melody of it. The melody is so haunting. But so if you're listening, you've never.
I remember sky. I remember snow. Soft as feathers, sharp as thumbtacks, coming down like leaves.
You're right. It's haunting, Maria.
It's haunting. It's my favorite Sondheim of all time.
Oh wow.
And lots of people do it beautifully. There's a lot of really, just go on YouTube and check and listen to different people do it. But to me, that always moved me. Where I thought I could never sing that song without crying. I would not be able to get through it. Like what you were saying, Keith, where you're moved emotionally by something. So now I don't know. We didn't really talk about it in length or anything. Did you two prepare anything that you could do? You think?
We did. Yeah, no, we have something we can do.
But it's not Sondheim.
It's not Sondheim because
it doesn't
I gotta
matter.
tell you, I can't sing Sondheim's stuff. It is
Well, I
too
don't think
difficult
most
for
people
me.
can. I don't think
So,
most
but
people.
I'm not even going to try. So,
But would you like to do a musical number? I would love it if you did.
sure.
Okay. Leo, are we ready?
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Keith Torgan and Barbara
Let me hear
Cecil.
your A.
Hold on. Let's make sure that we're in tune.
How-
See if I can get this on.
I love this. I'm so happy.
Can you hear? Is the sound good?
Yeah, it
That
sounds
sounds great.
Sounds great.
Okay, so this song that we're going to do, it's called "Show Us Your Heart," and I actually wrote it for somebody who was aging and had written a novel and was afraid to put it out there. Just couldn't stop writing. And I do a lot of what I call song portraits that I do for people. I get to really know them and who they are, and then I create. If I were a painter, I'd paint them. Oh, I am a painter.
I
but
know.
I'm
We
not a
talked about
portrait
that
painter.
before.
But
yes.
I'm not a portrait painter. So so I wrote this, and it's funny about song portraits because I was really stuck, and I pulled out this. Someone bought me a set of museum cards that held sayings from all these painters, and I just pulled out the Gustav Klimt card, and it said all portraits are self-portraits.
Mm.
And when I saw that, it was like, whoosh. So anyway, we'll do our best to do this song.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
So you think that you're old and over, that the best of your years are gone. You're exhausted and wrinkled, your body is sprinkled with liver spots and muscle knots. You're sure there are no more surprises, not one melody you haven't heard. But then all of a sudden, a new song is flooding your world. Show us your heart. Sing us your song. Dance us your dance. Take us along. We're in it too. We're in it with you. Show us your heart. So you think that it's too late to make a change, and you're certain there's no way you can thrive. You're feeling too old to grab onto the ring, but damn it, you're still alive. Dive in with all of your passion. Turn your lemons to smoothies and cake. You might be a bit rusty. Come on, kiddo, trust me. Get out there and stake your stake. Show us your heart. Sing us your song. Dance us your dance. Take us along. We're in it too. We're in it with you. Show us your heart. We know that you have a story to tell, a tale that'll make people think. From a lifetime of pain and a most human stain, you're a Johnny on the brink. You have a book, it's a novel, a song, it's a poem, it's a masterpiece you have been hiding. Take it out, let us in, let us give it a spin, let us read for a minute, stop writing. It isn't too late to get dead in the ground. You'll have centuries plenty to rest. Push yourself a bit harder. Your fear's a non-starter. It's time that you finally address your purpose in life is to give and to give and to give what God's put in your hands. And if you hold on, you'll have no way to open the door. Show us your heart. Sing us your song. Dance us your dance. Take us along. We're in it too. We're in it with you. Show us your heart. Show us your heart.
Wow. Oh, that was so beautiful. That was
Thank
so
you.
beautiful.
Thank
Oh,
you.
both of you, thank you for sharing that.
Oh,
It
you're
was so
welcome.
intimate and beautiful. And what you said about the portrait, Keith, you're absolutely right. My favorite line is, let us read for a minute, stop writing. Because it's just, you flipped it, instead of like keep going. It's like, no, we want to know what you have done. We
Mhm.
care. And,
Yeah.
and this person is just writing because they are afraid to stop, and almost run out of. It's like there's a saying in Italian, my grandfather used to say, "Chi si ferma è perduto." He who stops is lost. And I think a lot of these old school people, these old timers feel that. If I stop moving, everything is gone. So that was just exquisite. Thank you both so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you for giving us
The,
the platform.
the chords are so bright, and just with the top of the flute, just such a memorable.
Dreamy.
I love the melody. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. So dreamy. Okay, let's take a quick second because we're going to do the food section of our show. And then we'll go back. We have to, every week, I have to stay creative. I cannot ask my guests to be creative if I do not remain creative. I can't interview creative people and just rest on my laurels. So every week I create something.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yes.
Are you
So
going to
this,
send it down here? It's only a few
yeah.
blocks away.
Of course. Listen, I said that last time I was at your apartment when I dropped off the marinara sauce. I said I'm going to make something for Barbara next time, and I will, Barbara. I'm going to make you a nice chicken dish, maybe with some pasta down the road,
Perfect.
and I'll bring it by,
Perfect.
and we'll break that
Perfect.
together.
Perfect. Well, you should come over for dinner.
I would love to. I'll
You're
cook
welcome
dinner
here.
and bring it over. I'll walk.
You are
it down.
welcome here anytime, Maria, just so you know.
I know, honey.
And you're welcome upstate too.
Oh, yeah, because we bought a house,
Upstate.
which is a miracle, for artists to be able to buy a house.
I know.
It's a miracle.
Laura
I'm a
Chester.
miracle.
I'm a miracle. Laura says this is she said they are my neighbors upstate. So your friend Laura Chester Palata.
Yeah.
So okay, so what did I make tonight? We went with winter food, very simple, not a big deal. So this is pumpkin curry soup. nice winter,
Delish.
little bit of cinnamon, little bit of
Mm,
curry, fresh
mm,
pumpkin, delicious. I've been eating it all week.
recipe. Mm,
Yeah,
mm,
I've been eating it all
yeah.
week. And then I made just a half a sandwich because that's the nice thing about being sick. Sometimes you lose weight and I can actually fit into my pants. But as I said to one of my friends, don't worry, I'll gain it back. They were like, oh my God. So just a nice ham and cheese sandwich here, grilled on some nice 15-grain bread. These are my
Mm.
new favorite thing: truffle potato chips.
Oh God, you're killing me.
Am I? Okay, good.
Yeah,
Now I know
it's good.
truffle potato chips. This is
I want to dip the chip into the pumpkin soup.
exactly.
Soup, right?
What did I make for a salad? A beautiful winter salad. This is
Ooh.
romaine lettuce with red onion, celery, shaved carrots, and Bosque pears.
Mm.
I
Oh
love
yes.
I love putting fruit in my salad. So I'm gonna put honey ginger balsamic vinaigrette with sesame flavored olive oil.
Ooh, nice.
Sesame flavored olive, very good.
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Thank you for
Very
knowing.
good.
And this is just my little Whole Foods cookie treat. A little cinnamon, a little something. I
Is
don't
that
bake.
is that a yogurt covered pretzel?
It is. Thank you for noticing. I don't bake. That's the one thing I don't do. But I would very much love after the holidays to cook something delicious and bring it by, and we can all hang out and just listen to beautiful music and break bread. I think that would be something that would make me very happy, if that would be okay with you.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
I'm going to make you a nice chicken dish with pasta and some
Mm.
broccoli, maybe.
Okay.
I think that's up your alley, Barbara, right?
I could eat that.
You
Can I
can,
eat
yes,
that?
you can eat that,
Can I
darling.
eat that?
I'll
Absolutely.
let you guys know when I'm in town because I have it guaranteed that I get a list of all the things that I love that Maria cooks.
Yes.
So I'll let you know.
Leo is a
Okay.
perfect guest to have for dinner because he likes everything I make.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
perfect.
Oh, lasagna! I can't.
Now, we have about maybe 9 minutes left to our show. I would love to hear about your experience, Barbara, playing in the pit of some of these shows. Any show that you would like to talk about? What something that you want to share with us about the
Okay.
experience?
Sure. Sure. Well, let me talk about Into the Woods because I did that one the most. And I did the national tour. So I was on the national tour with Cleo Lane, who is just amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing because she's such a musician. So she really related to the musicians. So we were, we weren't separate. We were all, really part of the scene.
Yeah, she's a jazz
Um,
goddess.
Yeah, she's the jazz goddess, and it made it so interesting. I played in the pit with Bernadette Peters was there, but I didn't. I wasn't. I was like the first sub. I wasn't. It wasn't my gig. But it was very interesting and very fun. I could tell funny stories.
Tell a funny
Anything you
story,
want.
Barb.
Funny story. So we're in the pit, we're on the road, and the viola section is two guys, and they're two very smart guys. And there's a lot of rests for the viola section. There's two violas. So they decide that they're going to play chess during the show. And they've got the chessboard set up between them. And the conductor, he didn't mind. And so this went on, and one day, though, turns out that Stephen Sondheim and Jonathan Tunick have come to see how the show is going on the road, how it's doing, and they see these two guys playing chess.
Oh my
in
God.
the pit. So they get in trouble, and there's no more chess playing, But after a while, when you've played a show for a really long time, people would read their novels and their magazines, and then they would just come up in time for the cue and then back down.
And I'm sure you just know it instinctually. When you're coming back in.
Yeah, and it really struck me. There have been so many Sondheim tributes, and there has been no discussion about the conductor, the person who keeps the whole thing together for the people on the stage and the music, and not a lot of discussion about, I haven't heard anything about the music. So I thought it would be, I'm really so happy that you want to hear about it,
Oh, of
because
course.
we worked really hard down there
Yeah,
to,
and the way, like you were talking earlier, and what I heard was that this music is very complicated. It's not just straight through, like a lot of these jukebox musicals. Yeah, they may switch up the arrangement a little bit, fluff it up a little bit, throw a few extra dissonant chords in there. But really, with Sondheim, it's a map. Leo and I were talking about this earlier. You have a roadmap, like something like Sunday in the Park with George. I mean, that is like almost has trap doors connected to it.
yeah,
There's so
I
much.
mean, I think some of the other, Sweeney Todd, and I didn't do Sweeney Todd. They're very orchestral. They're
Yes.
very, they're challenging to play, and you have to be a really good player, because, and then all the singers had opera training, were mostly
Yeah.
opera singers, who could then come into uh, doing this music, because every once in a while Sondheim would get really abstract and so rangy, and
Hmm.
and for us too, so but it was great. It was really just a pleasure to play it and
So
to.
I would imagine as a flautist, you weren't bored much, like you weren't playing much chess.
I
'Cause
had a lot to play, but I had breaks, and I mean, the hard thing about it is that you have a long break, and then you have to come in with a solo and something high, and you have to, not be out of tune, and you have to play it the exact same way every day. You can't
Right,
change it because of the people up there.
right.
They're important.
And,
You
well,
know,
they're counting on you. They're counting on you to
right.
anchor them. You
And
know.
so you can't change anything. And if you're the first sub, you have to play exactly like the person that you're subbing for.
Wow, that's
You
interesting.
can't. So you have to sit. You sit for 2 or 3. You don't have a rehearsal. You just sit in, and you kind of memorize the way they play it, and then hopefully you can do it, and you get approved. You have to get approved after you've had your one time trying to actually copy them in a live performance, and then they'll approve you, or they won't.
Of all the pieces that you played, was there ever a piece that you thought, this is the bane of my existence?
Oh, in Into the Woods.
Anything that you played, of all the pieces that you ever played, was there ever a piece that you thought,
Oh, any Broadway,
yeah,
in Miss Saigon, you sit and you sit and you sit, and you hardly have anything where anybody can hear the flute. And at the very end, and it's a really long show, at the very end, there's this big flute solo. And that was really that was hard
I
to
bet.
do. Yeah. Yeah, because first of all, you sit, you're reading your book, you're getting out of tune, so you're going like, you know, you're trying to make sure.
Right,
Um,
right. Wow. Okay, we have about, believe it or not, this evening has flown by. We have about 3 minutes left.
Holy moly.
I know. I know.
Holy.
Keith, do you want to throw anything else in there to inspire other artists, or
To inspire, well, that song, the thing about the song that we just did a few minutes ago
which is
is
in my head? It's in my head stuck now. It's
it's
beautiful.
so much a self-portrait for me also, as I mentioned, that, stop. Okay, you've written 5,000 songs. Now go out and sing them someplace, So
Well, I
yes,
remember.
get people to hear them.
Yes, and I think we're getting back to that place of doing that, where we're going to be able to do that. But Keith, a while back, you did something for your dad. I remember that you posted. It was so beautiful. You did it. Did you write a song for your dad?
I did.
Yeah.
God,
You
see if
remember
I
it?
remember. Let's see if I do. It's been a
Maybe you
while.
could play us out with that.
When I was a kid, I loved you so. There was nobody I loved better, but now I'm old and all grown up. I've become a fine forgetter. What was it about you? What do I recall? What were the things endearing, Dad, when I was small? Sitting in your lazy boy and taking out the dog. Driving to the Dairy Queen and eating everybody's curl. Barbecuing frankfurters on a Sunday afternoon. Singing awful camp songs in the car. I can't remember the next line. Da-da-da-da-da. And army things. Wrestling tags and wrestling mats, station wagons, early morning mountain air and reveille. That's my memory of you. But you know what I wanted to do? I wanted to do something special for you, Maria.
You do?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, here we go.
because
One second.
you know this song.
Oh,
I used to think I could lay down my sword and retire from fighting the fight. I really believed that when I reached the end of the tunnel, the world would be bright. I never realized that struggles don't end and monsters don't like to go away. And I never realized there's always a dragon to slay. There's always someone who'll laugh in your face and make fun of the things that you say. There's always a hurdle to jump, even after the longest, most horrible day. There's always a feeling that drives you insane, constantly gets in your way. And there's always a dragon, there's always a dragon to slay. I know it's 10:01. I don't know if
I love it. So that was the song that was in the show that Keith wrote, where I played Keith.
yes.
I played Keith for years before I met Keith. So I cannot thank you both enough. You made my night. I'm sure everybody loved it, the show. Please, we didn't even talk about your artwork, Torgan Art,
It's
A-R-T.
gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It's
I know. I've been following you. So Keith also paints. It's beautiful. Please follow both of these beautiful people on Facebook and anywhere else that they are. I can't thank you enough. I think we did a really good thing tonight. I think
Maria, this was so wonderful. Really, you're a very special human being.
Thank you.
So are
Thank
you.
you so
And
much.
Leo, it was great
Leo.
to meet you. I like seeing you on camera, so stay there.
Yeah, Leo's wonderful.
Yeah, you're great. So
And-
anyway, we love you guys.
Love you too.
Thank
And when
you.
Leo comes to visit, we will all eat together and talk
Yes.
music. And I'm so grateful that you were both available to do this tonight. Thank you so much. And people are saying wonderful show. They had a wonderful time. Thank you, everybody. Continue to listen to Sondheim. But now you have met two new wonderful musicians, Barbara Cecil and Keith Torgan. Follow them as well. Let's support live musicians.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.